Welcome to the second unit of the course. We're going to spend some time looking about different ways that you can earn money and different ways that you can get paid on a job. We're going to look today at how you earn a salary. And before we actually get to the note, we're going to look at this chart here, which will help us with a lot of the calculations when we come to the note. Okay? So you might be familiar with some of these words, and you might understand how this works already. When you first get your job, chances are you're going to have a part-time job that pays you an hourly rate, okay? Probably minimum wage, maybe a little bit more. But using that, we're going to figure out how we can calculate different amounts of money you earn, okay? So if we think about hourly, I'm just going to use $10 because it's a really easy number to work with, okay? If you make $10 an hour, and you want to figure out how much you work a day, typical work day is 8 hours. Okay? So if I know how many hours I'm going to work in one day, I can multiply how much I make for 1 hour by those 8 hours to figure out the amount of money I would get paid for one day. So $10 an hour times 8 hours would be $80 that you get paid for one day of work. Once I know how much I get paid for one day, I can then calculate how much I would make in 1 week, and we'll use a 5-day work week. Okay, so if I know I get $80 for one day, and I work 5 days, I would be able to calculate how much how much I make in 1 week. Now there's a shortcut you can take as well. If you work 8 hours a day and you work 5 days a week, 8 times 5 would be 40 hours. So in a typical work week, you'd work 40 hours. So if I know how much I make in 1 hour, and I know I'm going to work 40 hours, well, I could just multiply my hourly rate by 40 hours to get my earnings for 1 week. And then if I know how much I make 1 week, I can calculate how much I could make in an entire year. I know there's 52 weeks in a year, so if I multiply how much I make in 1 week by 52, that would tell me how much money I could earn in a year. If we go back to weekly here, if we work our way around the outside here, okay, bi-weekly means every other week or every second week. Okay? So if I know how much I make in 1 week, I could figure out how much I make in 2 weeks just by doubling it. Okay? Or multiplying by 2. And then to go from bi-weekly to annually, okay, if I'm now getting paid every other week, okay, there's 52 weeks in a year, and if I cut that in half because I only want every other week or every second week, I could go from bi-weekly to annually by multiplying by 26. We'll look a little bit more about this bi-weekly in the note in a moment. The last one that we're going to look at is going from weekly to monthly and then monthly to annually. Okay. Now, going from monthly to annually is pretty straightforward. How many months are in a year? Well, there's 12 months in a year. So if I know how much I earn in 1 month, I can multiply it by 12 months to figure out how much I make in a year as well. Okay. But going from weekly to monthly is a little bit tricky because there's not the same number of days in a month. Some months have 30, some months have 31. February has 28 and occasionally it has 29. So there's not a real nice conversion to do. What we're going to do is sort of take an average. Okay. There's a little more than 4 weeks. 4 weeks is 28 days, which doesn't quite get us to monthly. So I need to multiply by a little bit more than 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply by 4.333. Okay? And what this 0.333 gives us is sort of an average of how much of those days make up a part week. Okay? And this works out that 4.333 on average over the course of a year would get us up to the same amount of money annually. Okay? We'll do some more work with these numbers in the note here, so you might want to keep this handy, but I just want to draw your attention a little bit to the bottom here. Okay? If we want to do some conversions going backwards or against the arrows, we're going to use the same values here, the 26, the 12, the 52, the 4.333. The only difference is that we're going to divide. Okay, so if I know how much I make annually and I wanted to figure out how much would that be a week, well, I could take my annual amount and instead multiply it by 52. Because I'm going backwards against the arrow, I would have to divide by 52, because I can take a year and divide it into 52 weeks.